Hey, Manai, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, I'm fine.
That is good. Good to see you today. Haven't seen you in a minute. Is everything going? Okay.
Yeah, everything's fine. Just trying to finish everything out before Friday.
That is good. Yes. So obviously you are the first one here today for this class. So um if you want to hang on for about maybe another 5 minutes, we'll see if we get anybody else. And then if not, I can just go over everything that is going to be due Friday and you can um, just get started on it, get working on it, sign off, work on it later, whatever you want to do. Sorry, I was reading a message here. Right, let me send my reminders out. Right. Hey, Jazz, welcome. Good to see you as well. I just sent my second reminder out, so hopefully we get a few more people joining us. Darian, glad you have signed on as well. Excellent work. All right, y'all. We will give it about maybe 4 more minutes to see if we get anyone else logged on. You can pull up Summit while we wait. And then the plan for today is basically just going to be I will share my screen, go over everything that is going to be due for Friday, since Friday is the last day of term one. So I'm going to go over everything that's due, and then the rest of the morning is yours to work on it. If you want to work on it in the chat, that's fine. If you want to leave the chat, work on it separately. Come back in if you have questions, whatever you guys want to do. All right. So we'll give it about another 3-4 minutes here. And if we don't get anybody else, then I will just go over that stuff quick and turn you guys loose. All right. But thank you guys. Good morning again. Happy election day. I hope any of you who are eligible to vote and are doing it today are doing it safely. Um, and yeah, great job. All right, y'all. So it's just about that time. So what I'm going to do is share my screen with you real quick. And again, I'm going to go through this pretty quick because I just want to make sure everybody knows what is due, and then turn you guys loose. And if after that you have questions about an individual checkpoint, something you are having trouble with, we can chat individually. We can do a breakout room, or I will also be putting the link to the Summit Lab in the chat before we leave as well. Excuse me. But here is everything you need. Okay, so again, our class contemporary issues, our project students in the First Amendment and Summit, as you all already know. So you should have 2 checkpoints assigned to you, checkpoints 1 and 2, right? And then within those checkpoints, there's 3 things you should have done. They are, right, the source set, right, which looks like this. Okay, so this is the source set for checkpoint 1, comparatives of free speech, right? This is where you are reading through the source, highlighting any words you don't know, underlining the important facts, details, and then answering this question over here on this side, okay? So you want the source set, okay? And then you also want the checkpoint task, which you can scroll down, right underneath, should be right underneath the source set, all right? All found under checkpoint 1 on Summit. Checkpoint task looks like this, right? You're just kind of following the directions in each of these boxes, okay? I would make sure the source set is done before you do the checkpoint tasks. That information will help you, right? And then last but not least, you are doing the actual checkpoint itself. You can tell the difference because this one says checkpoint product, the other one says checkpoint task, and then you are just answering this prompt in the box right here, okay? And then you have those same 3 elements for checkpoint 2, right? So if you go down to no prior restraint, you have the no prior restraint source set, right? Again, it looks like this. You do it the same exact way. This one, the sources are a little longer. So in source B, if you want to skip all this other stuff and just read these last 2 parts, the reasoning and the key points, you'll still be able to get it done, no problem. That'll save you a little bit of some extra reading if you know that you are going to struggle with that, okay? And then source C you have down here as well. All right, so that is the source set. And then again, scroll down, see the checkpoint task. And again, just following the directions in these boxes. Okay. What you're doing for the second part is each of these is a different, kind of claim that somebody can make. So what you're doing for each of these is finding a quote from the source set, right? So finding a quote from any of these sources in here that helps support this claim and then explain it in your own words over here. So for example, if I was doing this first part, the main idea is yes, the rule against prior restraint does apply to students. And so if we remember, we know prior restraint means that you can't censor or stop anything from being published before it comes out. And if that applies to students, it means you can't censor a social media post or a text message or anything that a student makes before it comes out. So then I would find a quote from one of these sources that goes along with that helps, to illustrate that. And then I would explain it in my own words over here in this box, right? And then down here I would do the opposite. No, the rule against prior restraint does not apply to students, meaning schools are allowed to censor stuff that students write before it comes out because they're still students and they have to follow the school policy. So I would find a quote from some of these sources that helps to illustrate this perspective, and then I would explain it in my own words over here, right? And that's what you're doing for this second part of the checkpoint task, right? Questions on anything so far? I know I'm going through this fast. That's just because I want you to have as much time as possible to work on stuff. And I just want you to know what is due. Okay? Questions on anything so far? No? I don't hear or see anything in the chat. I'm going to assume you're good. All right. Then last but not least, you got the actual checkpoint itself for checkpoint 2. And again, very similar. You are just going down here, answering the prompt in this box right here. And again, you want to make sure the source set and the checkpoint task are done first, because if you do those first, it will help you answer this checkpoint much, much easier. And again, make sure the source set is done before you do the checkpoint task, because that's where you're pulling the info from that you need for this. Okay. So same elements for checkpoint 2. All right. And then after you get all those done, you can scroll all the way down to this first final product. Don't worry about the second one. It says inquiry argument, right? And if you click the prompt right here, or click the link, I should say, right? It has this compelling question at the top: are students protected by the First Amendment? And then you're answering that for me. I should see about 3 good paragraphs here for this in this box right here. And you're using the info that you gained from the stuff we looked at in the first 2 checkpoints. So thinking about the Supreme Court cases, Tinker versus Frazier, thinking about no prior restraint, social media policies, all those other things. You're thinking about all that and then making your case, yes, students are protected by the First Amendment, or no, the First Amendment does not include, students and their speech. Okay. And then, of course, make sure you give me your reason why and some evidence to back it up, as always. Okay. Now, I know this is the first time we're seeing this today. So if you're struggling with this or you have questions, don't forget you can always revise. I can send you feedback and things like that. Okay. And that is basically everything that is due for Friday. Okay. I would have liked to done the part of the project where we kind of analyze a school social media policy and kind of pick it apart based on the First Amendment. Unfortunately, because of this virtual stuff and COVID, we didn't have the same kind of time we would have had in the building, because we're only seeing each other every other day. So unfortunately, we didn't get to that piece. But that is everything that is due Friday. Right? Are there questions on anything right now? And again, now is the time to ask if there are. All right, if there are no questions, what I want everybody to do right now is, just so I can kind of gauge the room, see where everybody's at. If you understand all the checkpoints and what you need to have done by Friday and what you need to work on, please give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat right now, so that I know we are all on the same page. Again, if you understand all the checkpoints, everything that's due, what you need to have done by Friday, please give me a thumbs up in the chat now if you can. And then once you give me that thumbs up in the chat, you are good to get working on any of this stuff that you still need to catch up on. I will be giving feedback on things as the day goes on. If you finish any of it, please make sure you request feedback. And remember, to be green on the checkpoint, you got to have all 3 of those things done: the source set, the checkpoint task, and the checkpoint product. Okay. Still haven't seen anything in the chat, so please let me know that you understand everything that's going on. Give me a thumbs up or a yes if you understand what you have to do for all the checkpoints and what you need to get done by Friday. Please do that now. While you do that, I'm going to put everything that's due in the chat so you can see it as well. If you want to take a screenshot, take a picture, write it down, save it, whatever you need. Okay. All right, so everything that is due is in the chat. Uh, can you guys assure me that there is still life out there? You guys still with me? Again, if you know what you need to do, what you need to work on, please give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat now, just that I know everybody is on the same page with me. All right, one more time. I want to make sure everybody's still with me. We know what's going on. If you understand all the checkpoints and what you need to have done by Friday, what you need to work on, please let me know that in the chat. Give me a thumbs up or a yes, right, or a no, so that I know, number one, you're still out there, and number two, if you are not on the same page with me, okay? Once you have done that, then you are good to start working on this stuff. Okay. If you want to jump out of the chat, work on it separately, come back in if you have questions. I will be in the chat, obviously, until class is over at 11:30. But the rest of the time this morning is for you guys to just get caught up on all of this work. All right. And I will be sending feedback back as you request it. I know, Jazz, you have one waiting still. So that is pretty much the gist for the rest of this morning. Okay. Please, if you have questions or you are stumped with anything, don't hesitate to give me a shout either in the chat or turn your mic on. Let me know. Okay. All right, Jerry and Jazz, if you are still with me, I'm just checking in. Jazz, I'm going over your feedback you requested now. So I'll send that back to you if you need to change anything. Um, Please let me know if you do have questions. I haven't heard from you, but I'm going to assume you're still good. If anything does come up, shoot me an email, shoot me a Hangouts message. But everything that is due Friday is in the chat right now. Okay. All right, y'all. If you are still with me, still working on stuff, we got 5 minutes left. Okay, don't forget everything is due Friday. I'm gonna put the link to the Summit Lab in the chat real quick for everybody, so you have it. I will be there from 1 to 3 today. All right, so feel free to use that and stop in there if you have questions, get caught up. That is the best place to do that. And again, remember, everything must be in end of the day Friday, which means Saturday at midnight, 12 a.m. That is the cutoff. I am checking checkpoints and reviewing feedback right now. Jazz already sent one back to you. All right. So if you don't have any other questions, you are good to go for today. I'm going to stay in the chat for a few minutes here, but if anything does come up, please shoot me an email or stop into the Summit Lab later today. And please don't forget to, stay on top of all of the stuff that is due. Okay. Thank you guys. Good job. Like I said, I'll be in the chat for a few yet in case you have questions. If not, you are good to go today, and I will see you again on Friday. All right. Good job.